Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto was put through hell and adopted by the Raikage. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto had the ultimate nature bloodline over on Anime King 3, and I enjoyed that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto failed the genuine test and was given intense training over on Anime King. So go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2, Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last part we left off, Minato was gathered with the Raikage as both men were there talking. As the Raikage was still furious at Minato, as Minato was alerted that the forest of death was oddly silent. Yes, there was no noise, nothing at all coming from the forest of death. Something seems wrong, but he was sure that it was okay. So he told him to proceed with the exam. Meanwhile, as Naruto came, while everyone came that he knew, he gave them something, either an earring or a leather belt. He gave them all something, because something was happening in the forest of death as all snakes, hundreds, thousands of snakes, all of them were gathering together, as it was going to be chaos. After all, he was told by the Hokage to make sure that only Konoha Ninja passed through to take care of the other teams, as Naruto gave the ones to take care about things that the snakes could find and not attack them. After that was over, as he got his team as well, they made their way inside the forest. As Anko was happy to see Naruto, things started out normal until things got a bit hectic, as the son in Orochimaru was there, as Anko came in to face after him. After she felt it as she made her way, her curse mark pulsing as she arrived. Orochimaru dealt with her rather quickly until Naruto arrived. As Orochimaru looked at the boy, that Kabuto was saying that was the next him. The next him, huh? Orochimaru was shocked when he saw Naruto summon snakes. That was rather alarming, as he wanted to find out what the hell was going on, as Naruto was fast, but he wasn't as fast as him. He was a Sanin after all. Orochimaru was going to put him down, until Naruto bluffed him. His father gave him a kunai and he told him as Orochimaru snarled at that. As he decided to flee at that moment, as Naruto made his way back towards Anko to make sure that she was okay. Meanwhile, Kabuto knew that something was wrong the moment he stepped inside here. It was when his partner, one of his members of his teams, got severed in half by something that slid her back in the forest. That is when he knew that things were getting rather chaotic, as he heard screams erupting all over the forest. And it was not being done by people, no it was not, as the slithering darkness moved through the shadows. Sasuke was also angry, as he saw Sakura fumbling with that earring every now and then that Naruto gave her, as he lost it and he was angry and he shouted at her. Sakura shouted back as she shocked him by that she was angry. It seemed like she's changed as she shouted back at him and told him that he was a petty, jealous, idiotic, emo boy. As his other teammate just nodded as they made their way off, leaving a furious, fuming Sasuke. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the page, check it out for yourself. So to begin this new episode, Orochimaru had gone to test the Uchiha. That was expected, and then Kabuto was left to convince Naruto to get on their side. Mizumi was with him, but the plan seemed to have changed as a snake came down. A large snake that severed Mizumi in half. Kabuto was shocked. He expected monsters, he expected beasts, but he thought his associate skills would be enough to detect and avoid danger. As he watched as snakes started to slither around him, if this was a way Orochimaru saying that he was displeased, it's time that he learned how to try and leave people alive. Try was the key word there, after all. They could be used as test subjects. As Kabuto hand legs up, with chalk around as he sliced through the belly of a giant snake, and the thing poofed away. Kabuto narrowed his eyes. These snakes, they were trained. They belonged to someone, and they had been summoned there. But that someone was not Orochimaru. At least he hoped his master was not displeased with him, to the point of sending his summons to fight him in the middle of a very important plan. No, Orochimaru wouldn't do that. As Kabuto realized that he was alone, all of his snakes, they were gone. It took him a second to realize why though. The summoner had come. As Kabuto looked up, black jacket, black and red, Uzumaki symbol. As Naruto chuckled looking down, I recognized that chakra scalpel, and those skills anywhere. Kabuto. As Kabuto dropped Senbons into his right hand from his sleeve, while his left hand came up and removed his skin from his face, showing his real face. Naruto-kun, glad to see you. Are these snakes your pet? Naruto spoke about Kuro, but he never spoke about any other snakes. Snakes that he controlled. An army of snakes at his command in the Forest of Death. The boy never spoke a single word about that. Yes, they are. They're my summons. You work for Orochimaru, right? That face thing that you just did is the same thing that he used. Kabuto slightly tense. Well, there was no use hiding it, if you are me. Orochimaru-sama is my master, said Kabuto. He has taken an interest in your potential, and he wishes to meet with you, Kabuto said. Done that already. I don't think he's interested anymore. I think he's royally pissed. And why would you say that, Naruto-kun? Kabuto's eyes had narrowed dangerously. What did the boy do? Call his father to battle Orochimaru. But to the fourth fighting, he would know. He tried to harm my big sister. I made him understand it didn't come without consequences. As Naruto gaze turned murderous. You're a genin, said Kabuto. You gave a legendary Sannin Orochimaru-sama a lesson? I can't believe that you would spew such idiocy from your mouth, Kabuto said. Yeah, you want to know another fun thing? Naruto said that grin. What? You have the third Hokage under your sleeve, asked Kabuto. No, but the fourth is more than enough for you, said Naruto. As Naruto moved his hand, as Kabuto noticed he had the kunai in his palm, it happened so quickly. Slashes. Rasengan! Kabuto knew he was done for the moment that flash appeared. As Kabuto's body was spiraled out of control, as he smashed back first into a tree, coughing up blood. As Kabuto closed his eyes, too much blood loss. Well, you surprised me. I never thought you'd actually call me, Naruto-kun, said Minato as he turned towards Naruto. As Naruto dropped the kunai, are you finally understanding the situation that you're in? Asked Minato. Yes, Hokage-sama, Naruto said, scratching the back of his neck. As long as I'm seal, I'm yours, he said. The 16-point seal was on the back of his neck. It was just showing how much Hokage wanted him to stay in line. There was an 8-point seal on his stomach, and this one was a 16-point different seal. Well, at least we're fine on that. Now dispel and keep doing your job. Make sure that only one Kumo ninja team pass this test. If two manage to get their scroll, take out the other by all being necessary. Yes, Hokage-sama, as he moved away. Kabuto smirked, so that was it. That was why he was on the Hokage's side. Because he didn't have his freedom. Well, someone could change that. Now, time to get the little snake friend towards the torture department. Kabuto winced at that, sure he was faking being defeated. But having that torture session with Ibiki was not something that he would like at all. If only that damn idiot Mitsumi hadn't died, he could have used him to escape. Damn it! As Kabuto slowly moved the explosive tag between his finger, the moment the fort was close enough, he threw it forward as it exploded. As the explosion went off, covering the area, Kabuto dashed forward. He had to make his escape. He had to warn Orochimaru-sama immediately. Time skip. The next day. It was the second day of the exam, as the Kumo team was lost. They were utterly lost. This wasn't the first time that they have walked in circle, but now, this was getting stupid. Hiyori had went to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and she took an hour to get back here. It was just around the damn tree. She stopped. This had to be a genjutsu, clearly. Release! But nothing dispelled. She was truly lost. She couldn't understand what the hell was going on. Was it the forest itself moving when she turned her back? No, that wasn't possible. And she thought that her teammates had forgotten her and made her way off. That's why she couldn't find them, and that made her wince. And she'd be left there for years, until someone strolled across her body, dead from hunger. She slowly sat down on the tree stump. As she couldn't find her way out, she's been walking around for hours now. The next moment, something bit her right in her ass as she jumped up in surprise. but her body slowly collapsed back down, unconscious. She was out cold. Carry her to a safe place, said Naruto, as the snakes nodded as they brought the girl away. Yakumo, thank you, said Naruto. As Yakumo nodded, Naruto-kun, she whispered. Weren't they your friends, she asked, as she stepped closer to him. As his face tightened hard. I need no Kumos come as friends. Yakumo, I love Konoha so much. She hugged him from behind, holding on to him. Please, don't do this with me. I know when people lie, she whispered, almost in tears. I see the grief on her face. It was the same as my mother, she said slowly, when she found out I could make illusions real, because she knew the fate of our clan members. Please, I'm here. I'm here if you want anything, she said. Everything's fine, Yakumo, said Naruto. Let's get going, said Naruto, in a whisper. His right hand made the signal to Sai, as inclines went down and attacked Shinkansen, who was looking for Hiyori. But Moguro cleaved the ground in two, making Shinkansen dash forward as he stabbed both lions with kunais. As Naruto pointed towards Shinkansen, as Yakumo nodded, as he made the signs towards Sai. Sai nodded. The next second, Shinkansen found himself being pulled, his mind being pulled into a world of shadows where everything was slow. For Shinkansen, who was naturally fast with his bloodline, it was a nightmare. Mogura, on the other hand, felt himself surrounded by strong smells and deafening noise, something that he hated the most as he dig underground. Bad move, because just as he dig down, he cracked against something, as he was in the middle of a snake nest. The moment he dig himself back out, something hit him as he fell unconscious. Meanwhile, with Kiba's group, told you guys it was gonna be an easy run, as Shino knew why it was easy though. When the third anaconda come across from you and smile, you understand who grant you passage. That was the reason Naruto gave the earring to him. It was a way for him to pass through without problems, and all of them would be fine. Shino felt like they'd cheat the whole purpose of the exam. And it felt strange, like someone was toying with him. But he had no choice in the matter, however. He just hoped his strength on the next part will be enough. Hinata was happy as she glad that everything went fine without death or blood. Kiba, on the other hand, was smiling. He knew that he'd get all of them through. It was rather easy after all. Time skip. On the third day, Shikamaru. Well, everything was just so troublesome. His plan had been to stay at the tower, and then wait for a team to come by. Then, he would subdue them and Choji got the scroll. The truth was, they spent 3 days moving, and the snakes just slither past them. They didn't attack them. It was like the snakes were escorting them. Troublesome. How are we gonna find a scroll if we keep on being babysitting? As Shikamaru said that out loud, a scroll dropped down in front of them. As Shikamaru was shocked. Did that just really happen? As he heard the slithering behind him. Hey, Shikamaru, what's going on? Asked Choji. Huh. Shikamaru waited as he moved towards the scroll. He threw a stone, but there was nothing. As he picked it up and tested it out, it was the real scroll, the one they needed to be exact. Well, seems like Kami had delivered them a scroll. He had an idea though. With Team Neji. Neji hated that Kumo-loving bastard. He hated Naruto with every fiber of his being, but he was too superior to that trash to even think about him. So why the hell was Rock Lee still speaking after 3 days about his youthfulness? They had found a scroll from a group of knocked out rain Genins. The Genins were thrown violently through the forest, as they had a lot of broken shrapnels on them, not to mention they seemed to be burned rather badly. As Neji and his group made their way towards the tower, Neji narrowed his eyes in confusion when he saw there was a Kumo lover. He was standing right there, and he had a mountain of scrolls underneath him, and next to him, need a scroll near to ask. Lee, step forward, Naruto-kun. Yush, this is excellent work. How youthful you are. Neji narrowed his eyes. Lee, get away from him. Don't you get it? What is it, Neji? The scrolls belong to other Genin teams, but leave them there. So calm, he had to kill all the others to avoid them coming back for it. Tenten and Lee pale. He's here to kill whoever tries to take a scroll of his. Naruto-kun said Lee. Yes. Did you kill all the other teams? Asked Lee. What if I did? What if I didn't? It really doesn't change anything, said Naruto. That is most unyouthful. I'm ashamed that— Lee, get away from him, said Neji. as Neji shot forward to hit Naruto one of his points. But his hand was grabbed. Neji was shocked by the sheer speed, as Neji felt his bones creaking as Naruto tilted his hand over. They said that something is wrong with the Hokage style, you know? As Naruto released his hand as Neji jumped back. But it's a weakness I'll enjoy using. I'm letting you pass into the tower. Remember, they are here because I decided it. With that, Naruto poofed away. A clone. The Jayugen style has no weakness, none, said Neji. Lee was shocked. Where did the cheerful Naruto go that he was talking to this morning? Where the both of them did. The power of youth. There had to be something wrong. He had to find out what it was and return the youthfulness back to his friend. Strange guy. Scariness like that, said Tintin. Meanwhile, with Team Samara. He was there. Samara. The girl that seemed fascinated with Naruto. The blue-haired girl. She knew that Naruto was there. Orochimaru had told her what torture Naruto had been subjected to by these monsters, so she would not be subjected to them. Orochimaru had come and saved her with the aid of Zabuza and Haku. She had been saved by them. Orochimaru sent his loyal subordinates to save her. As she remembered those hazy voices, she's Hokage's daughter. Killing her would be a waste, she remembered someone saying. As she remembered the ground caving in, she remembered the destruction. She remembered all the chaos. But Orochimaru had saved her, and now he had brought her back to the leaf. After what she went through, unknown to her, everything was a mental trick, subjected to her by Orochimaru. After all, loyal people were hard to come by. Now the blue-haired girl with green eyes. A result of a little to no genetic alteration, she had grown into a kunoichi. She was strong, she was smart, she was capable. Even Teiwaya from the Zone 4 was happy to see her around. Everything was going to be fine. Her mission was to convince Naruto Uzumaki, her brother, to defect Konoha at the end of June exams. Yes, her brother was gonna come with her. She was hoping that she could manage to sway him with her new feminine charms, but the torture her mother and that old hag subjected him to, they were too much. They messed with his brain, and he wouldn't want to leave that easily. She would have to make sure he understand that he shouldn't stay here. She would save him, and he would finally understand that he was her brother. Karen rolled her eyes as she watched the girl laughing. Yuri seemed to be the most sane one out of the group. Well, he was kind of weird. He enjoyed sucking. He enjoyed vacuum cleaners and straws. He was just weird as well. He clearly had to be swinging another way, because whenever he placed hand on another genin, it is always sucky sucky suck. He sucked them all of their chakra. As she looked at Samara, she was doing it again. Samara, she called. Please, don't draw on the corpses. As Samara looked down, she had her marker out drawing on the corpse's face. But I'm bored, she whined. Karen-chan, can't we get going? Sucks to be you. I suck at being me, said Yuri, as he was talking to the poor genin that he just sucked completely dry. Fine, let's go, said Karen as they started to head out. The forest all around was filled with so much life. The fact that it seemed to be 99% made of snakes that was trying to eat them. Yes, that was something strange. But the worst part was some of them had chakra to resist them. That was messed up. These snakes were not normal at all. Someone was using them though. Giant anacondas blocked their paths. They were forced to come down here. As Karen, remember what Naruto said? There was a guardian of the forest. Well, she hadn't seen that guardian yet. And they did kill a couple of snakes. All they see was mostly flashes of green and brown, and she threw her kunais many times. Lost in her thoughts, she was not even focusing, as she felt it as she turned, as a black snake was in front of them. He had come from above. He landed softly like he was a ninja. I am the trailblazer, the snake said. Karen was surprised. Snakes don't usually spoke. Manda spoke, but others, they don't usually spoke. I am the burner of Armageddon. Yoru, the fire snake. A talking snake? Sucks to be Yoru don't want to say more, but that snake burst from the ground bigger than the one before. Scaly-chan, I can take care of these guys alone, Yoru said. But the bigger snake said nothing. As Samara placed her hand together. Shadow clone jutsu, she said, as 5 clones poofed to existence. and they shot forward as Scaly-chan swing her tail. As all the clones jump, as Yuro focused in his throat. Yuro's cocktail, he said, from hell with passion, as he spewed poisonous fire out of his mouth, as it was tainted fire, as he dispelled the clones until he had to twist his body and lower himself as a ninjato past right where he was. Smart guys with clones fighting in the front line. Good luck, my boss uses technique daily. Samira bit her lip. This was one of Naruto's personal sneak. As the snake twists and launched towards her, she brought her blade out. Sparks! As his tail and the blade clashed instead of his snake tail being cut off. As he then pushed himself forward, his fangs coming towards the girl. As a kunai stabbed right in his stomach. But he poofed away. Karen looked towards the giant snake. But it went off. It digged underground. It let them leave. What happened up there? You were fighting, said Karen as she looked up. As, given the fact that Samara was in the tree fighting, one of your lenses fell off. That was one of his snake. He will know, said Samara. Karen nodded as she looked towards Yuri. For the entire fight he was throwing kunais at the back of the giant anaconda, but it didn't do anything. Let us move. Hey, one of your lenses fall out, said Karen. As Samara nodded, as she placed on a new one, hiding her real eye color. After all, no one can know it's her. With Naruto and his team. As some hours had passed, as they made their way towards the tower. Let's get in, shall we, said Naruto. As they made their way, they grabbed the two scrolls. As there was a poof. Naruto-kun, Yakumo-chan, Sai-kun, I knew that you guys would do it. As Kushina was the one that appeared. So I made you cookies, she said. I missed you a lot, as she hugged all three of them. Now, Yakumo-chan, Sai-kun, you both should go get some rest. Naruto-kun, you have to come with me to see my once more husband. As she smiled, he had to smile. He had to smile, yes, he had to. It keep on repeating his head, he had to smile, he had to. He wanted to congratulate you for your work in the forest. Something about snake hunting. As Naruto waved goodbye to Yakumo, who had the cookie package, and Sai as well. Naruto-chan. Yes, Mom, he said. I was so worried while you were out there. I never wanted to leave me, she said. Don't worry. I won't, said Naruto. Good, she said that smile. As she looked towards her right hand. I wonder if Minato would ever remove this thing from my hand. Well, Snavy said it was nothing. What happened, Mom, he said, in a worried tone. Oh, nothing for you to worry about, Naruto-chan, she says. Your office is here. It did turn red some days ago, but I'm sure it's fine. Snavy said it was okay. As Kushina kissed him on the forehead. As they made their way towards the office. The temporary office that was in here. As Naruto's fist was clenching tight, somebody had warned Yoru. He didn't even know who, but he had to be here with his pretend crap. Calm down, kid. Calm down. I will have my revenge, said Naruto. Want a pony? The Kyuubi asked. As Naruto chuckled silently. Thank God I have you, Kurama-chan. I would be lost without this. You know this changes nothing, right? You know, you could be a nice jailer and remove the chains from the gate. Would you be a nice fox if I do? And won't slash at the bars, or try to unscrew the hinges? You know, I think I'm gonna call for a meeting. With who? Said Naruto. Who else? Animal Protection Agencies. As Naruto chuckled once more. As he entered to see Minato yelling at the envoys, who could not find Kabuto. With the abilities that you have, I would be surprised if Katsune was actually in Konoha somewhere eating ramen. Somewhere else in the tower, a blue-haired girl sneezed. As she poured the hot water into the powder ramen. Just how can you keep eating that stuff, Karen asked. It's good. It's the only good thing, said Sumara. Time skip. Good job, Naruto-kun, said Minato, with his fake smile lingering there in the back of Naruto's head. As the teams were there. The last team to arrive in the last moment of time was Sasuke's team, as Sasuke was holding his neck. Sakura had a look of anger, relief, as she looked like she wanted to curl up in a corner and cry. But yet she was standing tall. Yager was breathing hard as he was pressing his stomach. On the front of the podium was the Hokage, who looked down, as well as Raikage, who was focused on Naruto. But Naruto's eyes were everywhere but focused on the man. The sensei, summoned by the scrolls, were on the level, watching down above. As Kakashi narrowed his eyes towards Kushina, who was whispering Naruto-kun. As she won't get his attention, she did a small wave. As he also noticed that Sakura was looking at Naruto with a gaze. And Sasuke seemed to be angry by it, losing a fangirl that he didn't care about. And the fact that his neck hurt and he had refused medical attention towards it, he just held on towards it. Kushina-san, said Kakashi. Her right hand had been bandaged and sealed. Something was wrong. I should thank Naruto-kun for what he did for my team. Kushina raised her eyebrow and she turned towards Kakashi. Did he do something? Naruto-kun is always so eager to help other Konoha ninja. He's a perfect Konoha ninja. As the Anfu guards tense. 4 of them were there. As Kakashi noticed a gaze coming from the Kumo ninja. His gaze was murderous. C was his name. He was a censor, so he could probably read, because he couldn't hear from that distance. If it wasn't for him, Sakura-chan would have died, said Kakashi. Kushina seemed to freeze up for a moment, until her smile returned. Obviously, she's a Konoha ninja. He would help any Konoha ninja. As her gaze turned towards Sakura and narrowed, dangerous gaze. Sakura felt like someone was looking at her intensely. As she looked around, strangely, she felt someone looking at her. As Sakura moved her ear back, as it was then that Kushina saw the earring, the green earring. Only a whore pierced their ears when they were 11 years old. Kushina thought with spite, as Kakashi did not say anything else. He was just trying to confirm something. As Hokage started speaking, well, congratulations to you all, he said. As he watched, Naruto did a good job, letting only one Kumo team pass, one Sound team, one Sand team, and the rest belonging to Konoha. He was pleased by that. However, you're a bit too many for the last part, that will take place in a month. So we will hold selections for the tournament right now. No murmurs, no talking, no one said anything. As Hokage spoke on, you will be given an hour for rest. The medic names will take care of your wound. Those who just arrived will be able to catch your breath and get healed up. Is everyone okay with that, he asked. No one protested as he smiled. Good. Then, it's an hour. Tsunade-san would look after your wounds. You have 1 hour, he said. As Naruto poofed away, Minato's eyes narrowed. The boy wasn't real here, was just a clone. Minato knew what he was doing. He wouldn't want to talk to other shinobis from Kumo, because he didn't want to explain anything to anyone. He was probably hiding in his room. A few moments later, Minato returned to the office, as he found Naruto there waiting for him, or a clone. What is a Hirishin, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. Nothing you should know, said Minato. I see, said Naruto. What is a Kusanagi? The Kusanagi is a grass cutter sword, known to take on any length and cut through anything. Why do you ask that? As Naruto shrugged, Minato activated seal as Naruto dropped towards the ground. Answer my question when I ask you, said Minato, as he released the seal. I was just curious, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. A weapon does not need to be curious. Now go to your room and wait there until time is called. Yes, Hokage-sama. As he left, as Naruto went towards his room, where the original one was, felt pain, the clone asked. The original shook his head no. Good to know, the clone says, he poofed away. As the real one winced, as he felt the wincing memory. But this was good to know. As he scratched the back of his head, his clones were made of pure chakra, not come from the fox but him. So he could fight Yamato with his clones. But he had to strike Minato down instantly. Never giving up, asked Kurama. Do you really think, when all this is over, that he would ever let us go, said Naruto. Obviously. He's the kindest Hokage ever, said Kurama. You make a fine point. So, when? The right moment will eventually come. And then I'll grab it. I'll take it, said Naruto. Yeah, like you will find him on the ground, in pain, unable to do anything, with a kuna in your hand, and the Kyuubi stopped as there was a knock at the door. As Naruto moved into the corner of the room as he went up into the ceiling, like a spider there waiting. Naruto-kun, are you there? As Naruto sighed, it was C. C knew that he was there. C was a censor. But he had to avoid all contact with Kumo ninjas. That was Hokage orders, he had to. Well anyway, I think I'll be going now. My team is rather riled up. Shoko said that she's gonna beat you up in the tournament. You know how feisty she can get. C went quiet. He then spoke again. I don't know why you're doing this, Naruto. But I know, like everyone else knows, you will choose Kumo. So don't worry, we'll wait for you. No matter what you're forced to do. As C could feel the chakra twisting and turning. He knew that Naruto was not doing this of his own free will. But that man, that damn Hokage will get what is coming to him. Yes, he would. As Naruto knew if C had found out where he was, he blinked away the tears that were trying to gather. Others would soon follow. He had to leave quickly, and that he did, as he slipped into another room rather quickly. The moment he did that, his door was kicked off. As Shoko stepped inside, she looked around. He's not here. Damn it! As Naruto realized that he walked in a room with a lot of people, he had walked in back first, just to get away from Shoko. When he turned, he saw Kiba, Sakura, Shikamaru, Neji. All of them were there, sitting down. Did I interrupt a secret chat? Said Naruto. Neji was about to say something, but Shikamaru was the one that spoke. You babysat us through the second part, right? Said Shikamaru, as Naruto averted his gaze. So it's true, boss. Why did you do that? You said I was strong. How can I prove my strength if Kiba was cut off as Shino interrupted? Orders by the Hokage. He can't talk about it. Everyone turned their gaze toward Shino, looked at him quite perplexed. And if you knew that, why didn't you say something before? Neji spat out. I did not know. As a small fly landed on Shino's shoulder a few seconds earlier when Naruto came in. This just told me, when you gave me the earring, I gave you this. But you knew that. As Naruto nodded and turned his gaze, he couldn't tell any of us. He was forced to do it, and if the Hokage ordered any of us to do it, we had to, said Sakura. The snakes you gave us are your summons, like the ones that guard the forests, right? As Naruto nodded, you reverse summon yourself to them when they call you, right? As Naruto nodded, Shikamaru was dead on. Well, I knew I couldn't hide much from you, he said, as he felt the need to scratch his head once again. I understand what's going now. The Hokage forced you to babysit us, so we can make a good impression of Konoha ninjas for the next month. So how is it gonna work through the tournament though? It's simple, Shino said. During the elimination, he will send Yakumo against Saya of Kumo. Neji will face off against Yugoro, and Naruto will go up against Shoko. Then Lee will go up against Gaara. Temari will face off against Ino, while Kankuro will face off against me, and Sakura will go off against a girl named Karen, while the girl named Samara will face off against Sai. Hinata will go against Tenten. Iori will face off against Yagura, and Choji will fight Kiba, and Sasuke will fight Shikamaru. If all go to plan, there should be nothing but Konoha ninja in the finals. Good, Shikamaru said, but not good enough. It's too troublesome. If I forfeit before the fight begins, the parents will have to change and someone will have to fight twice, which means Naruto. Because out of us all, Neji was about to say something, but Shikamaru eyed him badly as he went quiet. He's the strongest one, so either some of us, except for me, forfeit. At the end of it, there will be nothing but Konoha ninjas. As Naruto heard footsteps, damn it, have to go, he said, as he exited and locked the door behind him. Kushina pulled herself out of the doorway. As Naruto saw madness on the woman's face, like she was about to snap. Her face enlightened when she saw him, as she had saw the door unhinge. Well, that was Shoko who kicked it right open. But the woman didn't see him in his room, and she was about to lose it looking for him. Oh, you're right there, Naruto-kun, she said. Are you okay? I'm fine, Kushina-sensei, said Naruto. I went to talk to my friends in their rooms. As she checked his temperature. Is there something you need, Naruto asked, not worried tone. Oh no, it's just I want you to be careful. When you're in the fight, you can forfeit if you ever feel like you're losing the edge, okay? No worry. Kushina-sensei, I'll win. Believe it! As her eyes sparkled at hearing that word. As Naruto felt a need to bite his tongue right off there and burn it into ashes. I know you will, she said. Come on, how about we do some training in the Uzumaki chain style? As Naruto nodded, it was sickening, it was maddening. As you remember the first night, calling her mother, sleep in that bed as she sat there in that chair. She sat on his bed and she touched his face. She was smiling the entire night watching him sleep. It sicked him. The next morning he was forced to eat her breakfast, as he had to tell her how nice it was, how amazing her cooking was, and that she was the best mother. Then she went as far as to cut his hair, because it resembled that same style of that Kumo wore. Little by little she realized he wasn't going to leave her, as he started to ensure her about that. Clones. He used clones. The ones that were ordered to go to her was maddening. They begged him not to send them towards her. Whenever they were summoned for another task, they were happy, as they didn't want to be near that woman. She was psychotic, she was out of her mind. Not even her teaching him some basic Fuinjutsu skills could make him feel good at being near to a complete psychopathic freak. Not to mention this complete wacko could regenerate herself after being pierced to the brain. The hour passed easily as she hugged him at least 10 times in the hour. Because he could use the chakra chains just like her, she kept on hugging him over and over. As they all had to go back as the first fight was announced. Yakumo Kurama versus Saya. Both girls stood in the center of the room, along with the proctor, Hayate. If you're both ready, begin. As Hayate moved away. You're Naruto's teammate, aren't you? Saya said. As she unnotched her Kumo sash. Yes. Why do you ask? Said Yakumo. Because I want to know why he changed in less than 1 day. And if you won't answer, I will beat the answer out of you. Now admire, said Saya, as she released her kimono to show a hairy body underneath. Yakumo stood there shocked as Saya moved forward and punched her right in the face before grabbing her and hitting her a few more times. As she grabbed her to throw in the wall, I forfeit, Yakumo said. As Saya stopped, as she cursed. What the hell was that? Said Kakashi, as he looked towards Naruto. The both of them are genjutsu users, said Naruto. A genjutsu to make the body look hairy and male, said Naruto. The shock was enough to take Yakumo out of it for a few seconds, which she took advantage of, Naruto said. Minato was furious. Damn it, he thought to himself. The Kumo ninja will still have a reason to be here. The next match was Neji vs Yogoro. Are you also gonna get naked and show strange stuff? Asked Neji. As Yogoro shook his head. Fate has decided our encounter, and Fate has decided that I will not be as cruel as... Saya. Cruel Fate. Why do you have to be so cruel? As Neji felt a sort of understanding with the boy as he spoke. So strange to find another one, who also let me believe in Fate. While Fate has already declared that I will win this match. Yogoro raised an eyebrow. Are you insane? What? Said Neji. Fate is something of the present, not of the future, Yogoro said. Fate wants us here now, but the future is not fate. How can you be so blind, even with those special eyes of yours? As Yogoro shook his head. It seems you know nothing about fate, said Neji. Poor boy, said Yogoro, as he let 2 katanas drop from his sleeve. Seems you're the one that don't understand fate is the present, and not in the future. As he looked towards the proctor. Begin, Hayate said. Neji shot forward, but the boy stepped to the side. Fighting is like dancing. Tip-tapping on my feet. Yogoro spin as Neji ducked right under the blade and hit Yogoro on the left arm. Fate has given you crappy feet then, said Neji as he dodged another strike. As he dropped into his stance, Yogoro then hit 64 times as he coughed up blood. He used the katana as a crutch now. It seems that may be true. As he dropped his katana, as Neji stepped forward, Yogoro raised his hand in a fast burst of speed as a katana was placed at Neji's throat. I forfeit, Yogoro said. Neji was surprised. What? You had the chance to kill you? Yogoro said. As you said, you're caged by your fate. I do not kill pets of others. Come back when you have broken that cage, and we can have a good fight. As Yogoro collapsed face first at the medics team and took him away. I'm hitting that idiot when he comes out of there, Shoko yelled. As Neji walked off, thinking deeply. The next match was Naruto Uzumaki versus Shoko. Go Naruto-kun, you can do it! Kushina yelled, as all of the Kumo ninjas seemed to have a murderous gaze towards her. She was the first. She was the first one in it that kidnapped Naruto, and they brainwashed him so that he would love Konoha. They're Naruto, and they want him back. You aren't going to talk, are you? As Naruto said nothing. Begin, Hayate said, as she enlarged her staff, filling it with chakra, as Naruto could feel the chakra circulating through it. She twirled in her arm. Well then, I'll make you talk, she said, as she flipped around. As Shoko dashed forward her staff, exploding right on the ground, cracking it under the weight. As Naruto had moved back, as Anko came in at that very moment, strolling over to where Kakashi was. The Uchiha is a stubborn idiot. He refused to have the seal under control, until he has done his fight. I'll try and convince him then, said Kakashi as he paused when he felt a sparkle. As Kushina turned, he can't be using it. Kakashi, isn't that your move? As eyes went wide, as Naruto's hand was covered with electricity, as its gaze was murderous. You think some electricity is gonna scare me, she says as she point her staff towards him. Bring it. I'll crush you to paste and force those raisins out of you. Come on, she shouted, as Naruto flashed one hand and his other hand, as snakes burst out of the earth. 4-point vermin trap, said Naruto, as the snakes came crashing down on her with pure force, some of them slashing her as he had katanas, but there was nothing vital about it, nothing that would deliver the killing blow, as 4 Naruto clones emerged out of the ground, covered in dirt and dust. But how, said Shoko, when you hit the ground, the cloud of dust prevented you from seeing anything else. And I'm good at digging, he said, as he stopped right in front of her face with the lightning technique on his hand. Surrender. You can't beat me, he said. Shoko looked at him, as he still had the lightning technique right in front of her. Tears actually started to form in her eyes. She never thought that he would go this far. Despite her brash attitude, she just wanted Naruto back as a friend. But he would even try to kill her if she did not, as his eyes showed the clear intent of murderous gaze. I surrender, she whispered, as the shiver died down, as Naruto walked back to where Kushina was, who was fussing over his scratches, saying that he needed to go to the infirmary to get checked. Naruto groaned, but he obeyed, as Tsunade was there when Naruto arrived. Tsunade knew nothing was wrong with him, but Kushina. He got wounded. He might need some band-aids and some cream. Look at his jacket. Kushina, Tsunade snapped. Don't you think I know what I'm doing? And if I said he's fine, he's fine. Got it? Kushina nodded, but she still looked worried over Naruto. Now, you mind leaving us alone for a while? Kushina narrowed her eyes as Tsunade rolled her eyes. Who's the medic in here? Fine. As Kushina walked away, turned never 5 seconds, until she was out as Tsunade activated a seal, a privacy seal. Whoever taught you was good, Brett, said Tsunade. Not legendary, but decent. At being a minute in, some corpses that you left had died of shock, not of blood loss, given the fact that you toyed with their organs, and then you put back. Actually, your murder count is less than 5 shinobis. Of the 3 onbus that tried to capture you, one is Kushina, and the other one is Karusa Haruno, the ex-owner of the orphanage. The others died of shock mostly. Why the old woman though? She was barely hanging on, said Tsunade. Monster was hit, chained for 4 years, brought outside 1 day a year, and then taken back, hit, chain, all that pain. Naruto had to give it back to her, he said as he spoke of himself in the 3rd person. What I did to her was justice. Tsunade narrowed her eyes before she sighed. The bad thing is that you believe you brought justice, but you also kill civilians halfway. And that, no, said Naruto as he shook his head. Kabuto always told me that they committed sins. Horrible, terrible sins. And they never got caught. So I went and I found the proof. And I struck them down for what they did. Some of that had been planted for your sake, you know? He shook his head. No, I didn't. But what does it change? Nothing. Tsunade was about to enter the room, as Kushina pushed the door open. You activate the privacy seals. What did you do to my mom? Please, Naruto said. Can't you trust Tsunade Bachan for me, he asked. I'm sorry, she said, as she left, looking embarrassed. You're good, said Tsunade. She's going psycho, said Naruto. But there's something I need to tell you. Something I never told the fort, because you didn't ask. Tsunade nodded as Naruto slowly explained his meeting with Orochimaru in the forest. Her eyes bulged. Well, meeting Orochimaru is one thing. Belittling him is an idiotic move, Brett. I'm a dead man walking then, said Naruto. After all, he knows who I am, and where I am. Kushina narrowed her eyes. You knew if that was to happen, she would fight for you. You want her to go down in that, said Tsunade. If I die, and those that deserve it die as well, that is just justice. I should never be here in the first place, said Naruto. Oh, and one more thing. One of my friends want to learn medical ninjutsu. I am going to ask her about it. But if you ever want to take up another student, I don't take apprentices, Brett, she said. Thought so. Too old to teach, he said, as he ducked the senbon that stabbed into the door as he left. As Naruto stepped outside, Kushner ruffled his hair as he started to walk back. The moment that happened, Guy was shouting as Lee was rushed past him towards Tsunade on a stretcher. Guy-sensei, said Naruto, as Tsunade had thrown out Guy because he was shouting, as she had to work on Lee. As Kushina placed her hands on Naruto's shoulders in an effort of calming him, one of his friends just got injured. Naruto-kun, Gaara did a number on Lee, using the sand to smash his arm and legs. He might not be a ninja anymore. Naruto's eyes turned murderous as his fist clenched as he marched off. As he stopped and looked back towards Guy, I'm gonna make him pay. As Kushina followed behind Naruto worriedly, as Naruto arrived to see Temari knocking out Ino as she collapsed unconscious. As Shino was next, go against Kankuro. Go Shino, show him who's stronger, said Naruto as he raised his fist. As Kushina released his shoulder because she would not, thinking that he was still worried about Lee. Naruto would not cry, he would fight Gaara and teach him a lesson. You're a friend of that boy, asked Kankuro. Yes, said Shino. Gaara will kill him, you know. He can try, but he won't manage, said Shino as bugs dashed from his sleeves. As Kankuro opened his mouth as it was a strange contraption inside that spewed flames out. He shot forward his hand, separated, showing a metal blade. As he was nothing but a puppet as he drive the blade right through Shino's heart. Shino burst into nothing but bugs. As the real Shino appeared behind Kankuro with the puppet. As the bugs engulfed the puppet, preventing it from moving, the real Kankuro emerged from the bundle that was dropped on the ground. As he tried to connect his chakra thread towards the puppet, but he could not, as the bugs eat it. Puppet master without puppet. Where does that leave you, said Shino as he moved towards Kankuro. Kankuro simply smirked. A burst of chakra that connected a thread towards the puppet, a strong one. Pull it, as shrapnels exploded outwards aimed towards Shino, as one of them stabbed him right in the shoulder as he deflected the others. That blade is poisonous. If you don't give up now, you're gonna die. As Shino felt something coursing through him. I forfeit, he said, as the medics came and took him away. Kankuro breathed a sigh of relief. He hadn't lost. Gaara would have probably killed him for being too weak if he had lost hair. As Naruto looked toward Shikamaru, who simply shrugged. Something is wrong, said Naruto. What, the Kaiba said. Shino could have dodged that. Not to mention that chakra thread shouldn't have gone through. Maybe you just don't know that he's weak, said the Kyuubi. No. He gave up on purpose. Why? Maybe he felt like he was cheating because you helped him earlier. And his self-righteousness made him give up here. That could be, but still. You know you could just ask him when this is over, right? The Kyuubi said. As Naruto knew that something was wrong. But he wasn't going to find out anything now. Minato was pissed off. Things were not going how he wanted it. They were not going his way at all. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want the next part, then do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, go ahead and check out the other what ifs over on Anime King and Anime King 3 that I posted, guys, tonight. What if Naruto had the ultimate nature bloodline and enjoyed that, guys? And he also posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto failed his Genin test and was given intense training, so go ahead and enjoy that as well, guys. Yeah, I'm out for now. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.